Howie here. Time to read a blog. This one's to every dad. You don't have to be a dad, but dad sounds more dramatic. To every dad that, you know those moments when you're working your butt off or you're worrying your butt off and no one seems to know or care. They just want the money. They just want the drive to the gym, to the park. They just want the roof over their heads, and you feel like maybe I'm not appreciated. Maybe you're one of those guys that's maybe it's not a father situation, but it's you're the custodian of a big building, and you're just cleaning all the time, and you don't find much satisfaction in that, and you feel like nobody notices you. Well, there's a guy I know who has perfected that, and his name is Joseph. Saint Joseph, right? He's such a great figure, Joseph. I mean, we're not talking faith or religion here. Let's talk about the meaning of a story. If there is a God, and if God had a son, and he sent them to earth in the form of a little child named Jesus, well, certainly Mary's special. What man could you say is holier or given a more important assignment than the guy who's supposed to be the husband of Mary and the protector of the infant? You know, quite often you see statues of Saint Joseph, and he looks so meek. You know, because that was one of the qualities associated with meekness. It's a word that we don't appreciate anymore. It's not weakness, it's meekness, not getting angry, to accepting the circumstances. But we tend to see that as this kind of like hiding and accepting the circumstances in this timid manner. No, it's not being timid. It's heroic. So you have this man Joseph, and he never spoke a word in Scripture. We hear about him and about his situation, but he doesn't have a line. He doesn't have a quote. There's no parenthesis in Joseph said. It's fascinating. The strongest man that's ever walked the earth, and let's assume he is, because God would only give his son, his infant, by definition, is completely vulnerable to the strongest man alive. And he doesn't say a word. If you're one of those guys who doesn't say much and you're battling every day, you're not alone. So I wrote this on the feast day of Joseph the worker, right? Because he has several feast days. One of them is Joseph the worker, and it's a day designated to the worker. So whether you're a Christian, believe in God, Catholic, whatever, you know, this is something that I really like. Okay, Joseph the worker. There are not many choices. Really, there are only two to be exact. To suffer in union with Christ or not. For to suffer is not a choice. At least not while we are passing through. So we lift up our tired eyes. We strain our necks, elevating our chins. We become like David. We strum our harps. For kings are not the only ones who sing sad psalms. David is not the only musician of pain. For just this morning, I saw several on their way to work. One drove a van, another a box truck, a third carried a broom. Each had a song, each strummed along. Each is of the house of David, each a spouse of Mary. Which ones, however, if any, offered up the pain, that I do not know. Only our Father above knows who it is that unites his suffering to Christ. Only the silent Christ in each one of us could make such a noble choice. Signed, yet another man named Joseph, a son of David.